are tools. There are a lot of tools that are out there, but generative AI in general, and generative AI specifically, is what you would call a general purpose technology.
That's I look at the tire and I'm like, with the amount of interesting nuggets here that I'd like us to get into. We don't have that much time allocated to it, but I'll try to ask the ones that are I find that are really interesting. Because I remember listening to Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO podcaster, and serial entrepreneur. I think he mentioned once that he got his team to, whether it's the marketing or the sales or, whatever, to each build an agent or find ways to automate what they do, right? And then they get a price. I might be butchering it, but something along those lines, right? And so he can do that because he's very exposed. He's very exposed to the AI industry. He's interviewing tech leaders there, and so I'm thinking, when you talk about a framework that you bring to your execs and CEOs who are not thinking like Stephen Bartlett, right? What kind of framework do you hand to them, or even without them signing up for your services? What kind of, is there a mindset shift that they need to have, or just a different approach to running their business in this AI age that you try to get them to understand before you even start to educate this from top to the bottom of the companies?
So we talked about this a little earlier, sort of tangentially, about these what we tend to call super cycles, which are these fundamental changes in the way that humans operate. And the mistake that I see all the time is a tool solution orientation to these problems. It's I have found a hammer. Now where are my nails that I'm going to pound with this hammer? And they do not understand that you're not talking about a tool here. There are tools. There are a lot of tools that are out there, but generative AI in general, and generative AI specifically, is what you would call a general purpose technology. So general purpose technologies, things like fire. Fire is a general purpose technology. And when fire came about, it changed the way that humans actually interacted. It allowed populations to move farther north. And then 500,000 years later, somebody added some water and you get steam. Steam leads to electricity. Electricity plus steam leads to the Industrial Revolution, which changed everything again. So you went from an agrarian, I love this topic, but you went from an agrarian economy to an urban economy to an industrial economy, and it changed all of the fabric of the way that people worked. And in our own lives, we've been through this with internet and actually with cloud and with mobile. I'm not going to add crypto to that mix just because I won't. But so you're dealing with a fundamental general purpose technology.